The price of being famous, Evelyn. You're going to learn it. It's one of the reasons why I don't do the worship team anymore. I got tired of having to be there for 3 services. Oh, God.
So then can we have donuts?
You can have donuts if you want. I'm sure I'm going to be the one that has to bring you because I'm sure Mom's not going to wake up early to bring you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sandy Bay. Evelyn and Violet are in the choir at our church for Palm Sunday. And they are just finding out now that they have to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:45 to be there in the 8 o'clock service. We normally go to the 12 o'clock service. We are not morning people. Now, I get up early when I have to, and it does happen more often than I like. And that's okay, because that's part of owning your own company and trying to be a responsible adult. Sometimes you have to get up earlier than you like, but in general, I wake up around 8:30. And I usually don't schedule my first call until 10 o'clock because I am not a morning person. So welcome back to my farm. I've made some changes here. So you guys are going to be like, what? What happened? Okay, so if you remember at the last episode, we had purchased the same Fortis, a 190 horsepower tractor. We also purchased these nice trailers to go along with it. And it can barely pull them up the hill, but it can. Got the New Holland running. I decided to do this. I sold off some of the crop that I've gotten, and right away I decided I was going to go with a collection wagon. So I bought this guy and this middle guy, and was pulling it around with that little tiny New Holland Power Star. This guy. And could barely pull it, and I got it all filled up, and I drove it over to the farm, and I find that the triggers are not working to sell hay. So I could not sell this giant loading wagon full of hay that I picked up, and so I'm like, you know what, forget it. So what I've done is I traded the Power Star in. I used the funds from the harvest that I've got gained so far, about 7 trailer loads full of grain, and I purchased the steer. And I also, to replace, because this one has more horsepower, and I also purchased this, and we've seen this before in Bjornholm. This is a John Deere forage harvester. It basically, all it can do is pick up the straw swaths, but it turns it into chaff. And it's going to take a long time to use it, but we're going to use it, and we're going to fill up these guys and just keep taking it back and forth to make silage. We are then going to sell the silage for biogas, or however you say that properly. I actually need to go this way. It's not the right way. So, last but not least, I figured I could use this as the loader, but I figured, you know what? Sometimes this tractor is going to be engaged because, you know, this one's going to be working as part of the farm. Pardon me. And so I wanted to have another tractor that can be used... what's the word I'm looking for? Not independently, but I want something that's going to be down at the silage plant or facility that is dedicated to shoveling the silage, because that's really all I need it for. Man, I'm having a hard time talking tonight. But that's all I need it for. So I don't really need it to be driving on the wrong side of the road. I forgot we're in England. So there's the biogas plant back there. We'll go drop this off and see where our harvester is at. He probably needs to be unloaded again. It just takes a long time to get these fields harvested because they're so huge. Somebody online did tell me that you can... Now, I don't know if this works with the soil mod. It might, but they said that you can actually... the day of the harvest, you can actually fertilize the field and it doubles the yield. I'm not going to do that because I feel like it's sort of cheating, since I'm already playing on normal, but you can do that if you want. I don't know, like I said, if it works with the soil mod. I don't think the soil mod works quite the same. This is going to go in here. So we bring down our first load of chaff to the biogas plant. And you can see there I bought the JCB front loader. Not front loader, it's the, what do you call that? The skid steer. And he's got a little bit larger bucket than this tractor has, so I figured we'd just use him with the bucket, and his sole purpose is going to be to scoop silage when it comes due. So I don't have to drive another tractor down here. The other benefit is that we can park him by the silage pile, and I can monitor how far along the silage has gotten. So before we drive out into the road, I'm assuming that the harvester is probably stopped, or almost stopped. Yeah, he's got his pipe out. Oh, he's a long way away. Let's be faster to go this way. All right. So somebody had mentioned that there's this drive control mod out there that you can use to leave the tractor running. However, it screwed up all of my controls when I had it loaded. As soon as I took it off, everything went back to normal. I didn't have to do any fussing to get everything working again. But it didn't. It screwed everything up. And I'm like, I don't really want to have to deal with resetting all of my controls again. So I took it back off. I think it's a neat idea. I wish they would make a mod where you can leave the ignition of the tractor on and running without having to do all this other crap. All I wanted to do was leave the engine on, but there is no motor on mod or manual ignition mod. It's part of the drive control mod, so that kind of sucks, but whatever. I can just deal with having to turn the tractor on and turn my lights on every time I get into it. It's not the end of the world. So right now, I think the farm is going to be pretty efficient running. I think the rest of this harvest pretty much... We're going to have to buy, obviously, at least something to feed the cows with. And I'm probably going to wait till I can afford the mixer. So we need a mixer wagon. We're going to need a straw. We're going to need a baler, I think. Do I already have one? I don't think I have one. I think I sold it. Because I like the square baler. I need to look in the garage. Let's see. I think I sold all that stuff. Yeah, I did. So I'm going to have to get a... The biggest expense that we're going to have is the baler. But I can... I don't know what I was going to say. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, so we're going to need to get the feeding equipment, and we're going to need a baler and a pickup wagon. I may go with the big baler. I might just do a round baler. Those go first, and then the next step will be to buy the animals. You know, I definitely should have enough once we're done with the silage to get animals. If not, we can do some logging also. Starting tomorrow, well, we have more harvesting to do. I think this will actually play out nicely because today is March 7th. In 3 days, the Homer DLC comes out. So by the time you see this video, I'm going to actually try to get these up. The next couple days, I'm just going to release these all at once, depending. We'll see. We're definitely going to do a review of the Homer DLC the day that it comes out, but then we're going to also implement it here in the game as a rental. I will not be able to afford to buy it because it's way expensive. The price sheet got released today, and it looks like it's going to be easily almost $600,000, if not more, to get all the equipment needed to make the Homer harvester run. Now, that other unit, the one that looks like Droopy Dog, I can't remember what the name is, but that thing is, whoa, burp, it's not quite as expensive, I don't think. But I haven't seen the spec sheet for it yet, but I am planning on staying up till midnight on the 10th, the 9th actually, and waiting. Where's my harvester? The freak, where did the harvester go? And as soon, there it is. And as soon as the mod is released, I am going to make a video. So I will not leave you guys hanging. I'm gonna have that DLC mod video up and ready for you to see on the 10th by the morning. So it's going to be recorded at midnight on, or if I get it earlier, I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll come out earlier. I'm going to keep, you know, as soon as I get home from work on the 9th, I'm going to start trying to download it. But I am going to get it, and we'll, hang on, where's this latch on? I can never remember where the latch is. It's off center. There it is. So we'll have it to you, and you'll have it by the 10th. You'll have, by the morning, you'll have a video to watch. What's up, Ryan? So good news. I think I told you guys in the last video, but I don't remember if I did or not because it's been the March 1st that I recorded. Mark did pass the Sec Plus test, So he is now officially certified as a Security Plus individual. Wait, what did I do? What? The Mosin Nagant? That's a pretty cool rifle, yes. Yes, we have a carbine version. It's pretty cool. And this thing goes really slow because this tractor just barely have enough. It just barely has enough. We'll switch over. Once I'm done harvesting that other field, we'll switch this over to the same so that we can get more speed out of it. But anyway, yeah, so Mark passed. He's an official Security Plus certified technician. And he came home this weekend. We had a nice weekend together, but then he had to get shipped back off to the base where he signs in for his... He has to do a 3-week tour every year at the base. And so he's at the base right now doing his tour. He will come home on the weekends, which is great. We get to pick him up and bring him home. So I'll get to see... Ryan and I will get to see him every weekend for like 5 minutes until he goes over to his girlfriend's house. Ryan's laughing. It's so true. Why hang out with us when he could hang out with Allie? Because we're just not as cool as Allie or Snuggly. And let's face it, folks. If it were you, wouldn't you go to your girlfriend's house instead? What'd you say, Ryan? She likes our family. Oh, that's not true, and you know it. She just can't stand you because you're so grumpy. She has to have sympathy? She has to have siblings. Oh, well. We do have chaos at our house, that's for sure. All you guys who watch my channel, I think 90% of you are used to the chaos. So right now what we're doing is we are just collecting using this device. I think you've seen it before, like I said, in the Bjorn Home videos, if you watch those. This is going to be dual purpose for us. I think I might do the round baler. I don't know. It's so much easier dealing with the round bales because you don't have to make silage. Of course, and then you don't need a mixing wagon. I don't know. I have to think about how I'm going to do it. It's much cheaper. Oh, no, you still need the mixing wagon. Rats. Oh, the cows are such a pain, but they need the food. So we're gonna do dairy cows first this time. We might also do sheep. So right there, I'm gonna have to get mowing equipment. You know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you got to buy to keep these farms rolling the proper way. And we'll run over here in a second to check on the harvester. I'm sure it's getting full. One of the things that I don't like about this unit is it's not very wide, so I oftentimes miss portions of the pile. You can see there, I've left a little trail of little pieces, and I'm not gonna bother. You know what? As long as we get the majority of what's on the field, I'm happy. In real life, they don't get every single ounce. They try, though, but, you know, eventually, when we have extra money to work with, we will upgrade to a forage harvester, most likely. But until then, we can afford it. We can do it the old-fashioned way, and we're not even necessarily renting. I figured this is the better way to do it. Maybe something that we haven't done much before. I just like to start it up at the top of the hill. So let's check and see how this guy's doing. I have a feeling our harvester is going to be ready. Yeah, there he is. He fills up fast, man. That would be another thing that we might need to upgrade to, and I might do that. I don't know. We'll see. You'll have to see how the soil mod goes. Like I said, we might make a ton of money and have enough to upgrade the harvester and enough to upgrade our, you know, or to get the cow equipment and to buy the cows and all that stuff, but we'll see. I think, you know, I haven't played on normal in a long time. I will say that we are going to yield a ton of silage. We really are going to have a ton of silage with that unit, but it's going to take a long time to get it. And I think that makes it a little more realistic because obviously when you're dealing with a real farm, it takes you days, sometimes weeks, to get all the things done. I mean, I've been watching a farmer. There's a farmer on River Styx, a couple miles south of where we live, and I pass this farm all the time on my way to and from. Whenever I have to take 57 and 224, I end up passing his farm. And this guy's got, he's been manuring the field for like 2 months. It took him a month and a half to get his corn I think he's got cows because he uses the corn. Looks like he's using the corn for silage. And the reason why I say that is because he just does sections of corn. He's got a silage collector, like a wagon that has that's like what we're using. But for corn, it's designed for. It's got a corn. It's a corn header. So he does like a couple rows of corn every day, and then comes back the next day and does more. And now same thing with the manure. It's like one day I come there and a quarter of the field's manured. The next day, like a fifth of the field is manured, or I guess it'd be 2/5, you know. And then the next day it's like half, and he keeps very slowly getting his fields, you know, prepped for the next season. So in real life, I mean, you don't collect everything in one day, and you don't, you know, harvest everything in necessarily one day. It's a process, and I think that we're going to try to follow that, you know, example here. It's just not going to happen all at once. And it really will make it a little bit more realistic because it's going to, you know, we'll have a harvest and then we're going to have quite a lead time before the next harvest. I will keep working on the farm. I did, like I said, I've been doing this stuff while you were gone. I will try not to do any purchases or major decisions while you're not here, but sometimes it just, like this, I just needed to start doing this and I didn't want to wait like another day. You know, to be honest with you, I probably should have bought the T6 160. I shouldn't have messed around with the steer, but I know, you know, I always buy New Holland stuff for all of my videos, and I like the New Holland tractors, but I wanted to have something different for you guys. So I decided to go with the steer, and I don't know that it was a bad choice. Here we go. Now we're getting full speed out of this thing. But I just felt like I was over New Hollanding it, and I didn't really have anything else that had front loaders that I could afford. Though now I did find a Massey pack, and so we're going to definitely be using those. I have to remember who sent me that. Shoot, I like to give shout-outs when somebody tells me about something, but he didn't really tell me about it because I'd already downloaded it. But he said, hey, you should check out this Massey pack. And I'm like, I actually already have it. But there's some new Massey Ferguson tractors that are really well done for mods. They're much nicer than a lot of the mods that I've seen. And they don't mess with the frame rate, which I'm surprised at. They look really, really sharp. They look just like the in-game tractors, but without a frame rate hit. So, anyway, we'll definitely we'll buy one of those too for the farm. In fact, I'm kind of wondering if I should have done that instead of buying this tractor. But what are you gonna do? That's the decision I made. Sorry, guys. For those of you that are on the Xbox, you probably like this decision better anyway, because these are all tractors that you can get. However, this harvester is not. Sorry. And we're going to turn it back off. Yeah, this thing's just a little heavy for this tractor, so it definitely whips it around. It's not the most balanced ride. But you can see here, just in this little bit, how much silage I've gotten. When we use the Fortis, we will get those bigger trailers involved, and we'll have, you know, a lot more going back and forth. But this can fill up one trailer; it does not fill up two. So unfortunately, you have to. I probably will just use one trailer at a time and take it over. So this is a very tedious process because it takes a long time to get these trailers filled up. But it's going to make us a lot of money, so it's worth doing it. And unfortunately, you can't just hire someone to do it. It's all manual, so I'm going to be here for quite some time. It'll probably take me a week or two to get these done. You guys that patient? I won't be recording the full weeks. Like I said, I'll just keep working on the farm. It will definitely slow down our video production a little bit, because you guys will be like, hey, where's the next episode? And I'll be like, well, I haven't really done that much to be recording worthy, because I'm just collecting, harvesting. But I still love this map. I'll tell you what, I have not, since the update, one of the things that I like about the update, I wish that they had not, I wish I could still dump the hay off, because it would be faster than doing this, but one of the things that I like about the update is that they did widen all the roads. So it's a little bit easier to get some of the larger equipment around without getting into too much trouble. So I'm very thankful for that. That's a big improvement. And like I said, there's, you know, now we have manure for the cows, and though I didn't see anything for the animal farm, the pigs and cattle, but whatever. So we're gonna park this guy. Now you have to fold. No, not that one. Nope. Which one is it? Is it this? Okay, there we go. You have to make it like this. If you don't do this, it'll actually dump over. So I have to fold it up before I park it. It's kind of funny. Yeah, we definitely need a forage harvester to do this. You can see where that, you know, this is where the price of the equipment becomes worthwhile, because, you know, we could rent one, but I don't know that I've ever seen anybody forage before with a rental. But we've done it. I've done it in my videos, so I don't know. Maybe I'll rent one. That thing is just so slow. And we's gonna need the money. We'll have to see. I'm already calculating in my head the different things that I could do to make this better. I could trade this tractor in. Always the one-day tractors, man. How many? Oops, I missed. The dealerships must love me. I buy a tractor, and then like the next day I trade it in, you know, for a 50% loss on the income. Wait, let's check our harvester's probably ready. Yeah, there he is, sitting down the other end of the field. Yeah, if any farm is a good candidate for rental equipment, this might be one of them, especially with this field. That harvester is great on the smaller fields, but the other option would be, instead of buying a larger harvester, you could buy a second harvester and run them both on this field. The problem is they just fill up so darn fast, and then you have this. Look at all this. Look at all these hay trails. I mean, this is going to take me forever. Even with a forager, it's going to take me forever to clear this field. It'll be worth it in the long run, but I think maybe what we'll need to do is, I think just for my sanity, I think we're just going to have to rent. Sorry, guys. I just don't see any other way around it. Like I said, I don't feel necessarily like it's cheating, because in Europe, really, actually in America too, most of the harvesting is done by rental firms. I mean, it really is becoming the point where people don't buy them anymore, they rent them. So we've talked about this before. And I think for this farm to quickly be successful, we really do need to step it up. So let's go ahead. While this guy's filling up, we're gonna run this trailer down, and then we're gonna work out some deals here. Do I trade this in? Let me think about this. And maybe this will be a way for us to bring a Massey in. You kicking butt, Ryan? Or getting your butt kicked? Kind of equal. I was playing Tier 9 World of Tanks with Black Chicken and Nads tonight, and we did some handing of butts, and we also did some receiving of butts being handed to us. The last two battles, we just had horrible battles, but we had a couple good ones. I really struggle at Tier 9. I'm telling you, man. I don't know why well, it's because the better players are up there, and I'm just not that great of a player, honestly. I know some of you guys think I'm modest and stuff, but I'm not. I'm really not a great player compared to some of the guys that are out there at the higher tiers. What, Rue? I'm a bad player? No, well, I'm good on tier, like I said, I'm pretty good up into tier 8. And I do okay on 8. Once we get into tier 9, I really start struggling. Though I had a couple good battles, but unfortunately, I'm also finding with the, with my, my brain just went blank. What? With my tanks of choice, the T-54, which I really love, you unfortunately do have to use a decent amount of gold for it to work well. And I just have gotten to the point where I just fling gold when I run the tank. Because it goes from 200 penetration at tier 10 up to freaking 330 penetration. So there's absolutely no reason not to use the gold aside from the cost. But if you want to win, you got to fling the gold. And I don't know if I really like that philosophy, but tis the reality of the situation. All right, so we're going to trade this kid in because I'm not, like I said, it's not working. This is going to take way too long. I don't really need the second trailer, so we'll get some money back, and we'll look at buying a nice tractor and then renting some shiz. We'll rent a harvester. We're going to rent a forage harvester. This is just taking too long. So I'm predicting about 100,000 return value, maybe. Let's see. This is 110, so that'd be 75 or 70. Plus, if I have to sell a load of stuff from the harvester, we'll do that. You excited, Ryan? You're going to get Pokken Tournament for your birthday? Is it Pokken Tournament or Pokemon Tournament? Pokken? Is that like Dokken? Because it's Dokken. Why would you say Dokken?
It's like Street Fighter, Naruto, Tekken.
Street Fighter, Naruto, Tekken.
It's like the three biggest fighters.
All mixed into one. Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. Maybe Pokemon hates you. What was the other game that you wanted to get, though, Ryan? Twilight Princess HD. What's the deal? Well, they didn't redo the music. But that's not a huge deal. Oh, hold on, folks.